Hello everyone, my name is Alberto. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to show you quickly how to copy or create t-shirt dress for a child. In my case, it's for my niece. My sister asked me for a couple t-shirt dresses for her to wear in the summer. She's 6 years old, and if you've never done children clothes, they're a bit difficult. So first of all, I got my fabric. They're both knits. One is a cotton jersey, the other one is a fleece, light fleece. I got a t-shirt that's a bit long on her and it fits her, and it's super easy because it doesn't have a cut sleeve. So it's basically just two pieces of fabric. So that's pretty simple to copy. Front and back are exactly the same except for the neckline. So what you will do is basically prepare your fabric. You can wash it before if you want, depending on the fabric. You might want to do that. And then basically we're just gonna trace, as we did for the t-shirt in the other video, the most important parts of the shirt, adding, in this case, a little edge for the hem on the sleeve. And we're gonna trace the two different necklines in the front and the back. I'm keeping the length as it is without adding any hem, because I'm gonna use the extra fabric I have to do a sort of flounce at the bottom for a kind of an 80s look that I think will be very cute. So here, as you can see, I'm using the back in this case to trace the front, because again, they are exactly the same except for the neckline. So I'm just tracing the different neckline and then using the same exact shape. After I cut the two main body parts, I'm measuring the bottom or the hem and basically dividing up the rest of the fabric. In my case, I ended up with 4 strips, and that way I'll get to ruche them and get the little flounce at the bottom. So I'm just tracing the divided measure and cut them. I'll show you later how I decided to use them. The only thing left is measuring the neckline, and since it's a t-shirt, I'm using a random strip of fabric left and cutting 2/3 of the total neckline, so we get a little bit of tension and it holds the shape better. In this case, I'm using the same exact fabric because I don't have ribbing of the same color or a nice color. In this case, since this is a gray with black, I'm gonna use black ribbing. So for this one, I'm not gonna cut any strip for the neckline, but the rest is exactly the same. Since I'm doing multiples, I'm just using the yellow one I done prior and basically doing the exact same steps all over again. For this one, the fabric is a little narrower, so the strips I have left for the flounce are a bit shorter, but in the end the result doesn't really differ much. You'll see. Okay, now we move on to actually putting it together. I'm starting with closing the little band for the neckline with just a simple overlock. Obviously, I threaded the overlock in yellow. Moving on to the shoulders, I'm gonna do like we did on the t-shirt in the last video. So I'm just gonna do shoulders first and then iron them, the fold for the hemline on the shoulder. and then closing the sides after, because in this case especially it's gonna be a lot easier because it's a very tiny armhole. And then I'm joining the 4 pieces I have for the hem, flounce, little skirt bit, cutting any extras just in case. Basically just joining them together. The only thing you have to make sure is not to twist them, because otherwise you'll have to undo one of the seams and redo it. But yeah, just as a finishing, I'll show you later on the other one, but what I did is just overlock the edge all over and then top stitch it so I get a nice hem, and then I ruched the other side, basically stitching a long stitch on the sewing machine, and then I just pulled one of the 2 threads, ruching it to roughly the same size as the bottom. And it's just pretty easy, it just takes quite a long time. Then I attached it. I'm going to attach the neckline. And in my case, I don't really measure, I sort of eyeball how to distribute the space by stretching the neckline. But if you want, you can measure and make it as even as possible. But again, it is a knit, is very forgiving, so that's not going to be a big deal. Once it's done, I hemmed the sleeves. I use a double needle. You can use a zigzag if you don't have it, and I did the same on the neckline. And then I just steamed it a little bit, and that's it. Here I'm doing the gray one. I started in this case from the flounce, doesn't really matter as long as you have all your pieces in the end. But here you can see how I just edged the whole thing with the overlock. And this not only is a good finish, but it also helps when turning and hemming with the straight stitch sewing machine, because it gives it a little more oomph. And here I'm just hemming it. So you see, it's super easy. You could do a double hem, but I think on fabrics like this it gets very heavy. I would have done double needle, but I didn't have quite enough fabric. This is the finished result. I am very happy with it. It's pretty simple. I hope you like them. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.